Hey there! Are you ready to dominate the game and become a Monopoly Go master? Well, this week I've got 5 game-changing methods to help you learn the best methods for Monopoly Go. Whether you're a beginner or looking to refine your skills, these strategies will give you the edge to crush your competition. So first of all, let's look at prioritizing property sets early on. First things first, prioritize property sets from the very beginning of the game. In Monopoly Go, building full sets of properties is your ticket to developing them with houses and hotels, which means more rent and more cash flow. The key here is to stay focused on completing property sets as quickly as possible. As you go around the board, aim to buy properties that will bring you closer to completing sets. Don't hesitate to negotiate or trade with other players to secure the prices and pieces that you need. This is where early game trades can be very strategic. Now, when it comes to property sets, some are better investments than others. For example, the orange and red properties offer a solid balance between affordability and high rental income, which can significantly boost your finances. Early in the game, these properties can be game changers, allowing you to establish a steady income stream without stretching your budget too thin. So, if you have the chance to complete either of these sets, go for it. And don't overlook railroads. Railroads can also be a great source of income, especially if you own all 4. Since they're scattered around the board, they offer frequent opportunities for collecting rent. Remember, the more properties you own, the better your chances of profiting every turn. So, completing property sets is a top priority in your Monopoly Go strategy, and you'll be well on your way to dominating the board and outlasting your opponents. Next up, master the art of negotiation. Now, let's talk about negotiation. Monopoly Go isn't just about collecting properties, it's about making deals and partnerships that'll keep you ahead. In Monopoly Go, you'll often find yourself in situations where trading is essential to completing a property set, so knowing how to negotiate effectively can make or break your game. Be prepared to offer fair trades, but don't be afraid to ask for more if you have a bargaining advantage. Sometimes giving up a valuable property to complete a high rent set can pay off in the long run. It's also wise to understand what your opponents need and use that to your advantage. For example, if someone, say, desperately wants a property you own, don't settle too quickly. You can leverage that property to get something valuable in return, like a property to complete your own set, or even some extra cash. Another important aspect is to keep a poker face and don't show your enthusiasm for a deal you want, as opponents might try to make it harder for you. Negotiation is all about strategy, timing, and knowing when to hold out for a better offer. With practice, you'll become a shrewd negotiator in Monopoly Go, giving you a strategic edge over the competition. Next up, invest in houses and hotels wisely. The next key method is to invest in houses and hotels strategically. Once you have a complete set of properties, it's time to start developing them. But in Monopoly Go, it's not just about randomly placing houses on properties. You want to maximize your return on investment by focusing on properties that offer a high rental yield without excessive costs. Start by adding houses to mid-range properties, which typically provide a solid return on investment without the hefty price tag of top-tier properties. For instance, properties in the orange and red groups are prime candidates for early development. These sets offer a good balance between affordability and rental income, allowing you to pressure your opponents without breaking the bank. Once you've established a steady income flow from these properties, aim to add up to 3 houses per property. At 3 houses, the rent escalates significantly, often putting a major strain on your opponent's finances and giving you an upper hand. As you accumulate more cash, consider upgrading to hotels. However, it's essential to keep a close watch on your cash flow. Investing heavily in hotels without a financial cushion can be risky. Bankruptcy can sneak up on you if you're not too careful. Try to maintain a balance between property development and a reserve fund for emergencies like taxes or other unexpected expenses. Strategic investing is all about timing and prioritization, and by being mindful of where you place houses and hotels, you can increase your income steadily and secure a long-term financial advantage. With careful investment in houses and hotels, you can not only increase your cash flow, but also build a solid foundation for winning the game. This approach ensures that you remain competitive and resilient in Monopoly Go, keeping you one step ahead of your rivals. Next, believe it or not, utilize the jail strategically. Jail can be a great place to be under certain circumstances. Early in the game, you'll want to avoid with jail, so you can go around the board and acquire properties. But once the game progresses and properties are developed with houses and hotels, jail becomes a safe haven. In Monopoly Go, being in jail means you're not landing on other players' properties, which can save you from paying high rents. In the late game, staying in jail for a few turns can actually be advantageous, as it minimizes your chances of landing on developed properties and hemorrhaging cash. However, while in jail, you can still collect rent from your properties, so it's not a total loss. Use this to your advantage by hanging back when others have built up their properties, and you'll avoid taking big financial hits. If you're close to bankrupting an opponent though, you might want to pay to get out of jail early, so you can make those final rounds around the board. Timing is everything when it comes to jail strategy. Knowing when to stay put and when to get out will give you a tactical advantage in Monopoly Go, helping you stay in the game longer. Next up, manage your finances carefully. Money management is absolutely crucial in Monopoly Go. Running out of cash can quickly lead to bankruptcy, which means the game is over for you. One of the best methods of managing your finances is to always keep a reserve fund. It might be tempting to spend every last dollar on properties and upgrades, but having a safety net can make all the difference when you land on an opponent's hotel or face an unexpected expense like a tax bill. Early in the game, it's okay to spend a bit more aggressively to acquire properties, especially since owning more properties early on can help you establish a strong foothold. However, as the game progresses, switching to a more conservative approach can help you avoid unnecessary financial risks. It's wise to avoid selling off properties just to pay rent, if you can help it that is, as this often puts you at a disadvantage. Instead, consider mortgaging lower value properties to cover costs while retaining your high value ones. This way, you keep your most profitable assets while gaining some quick cash, allowing you to unmortgage them when funds allow. Additionally, keep a close eye on your opponent's finances. If you notice someone running low on cash, you can capitalize on their desperation by upping the rent on your properties, or even proposing a trade that works in your favor. Effective financial management is all about staying in the game long enough to make these big plays. With careful planning, you can avoid the pitfalls of overspending and remain solvent throughout Monopoly Go, increasing your chances of victory. Next up, adapt your strategy as the game progresses. Finally, adaptability is the key to mastering Monopoly Go. The game's dynamic nature means that a rigid strategy can quickly become ineffective, so you need to stay flexible and adjust as the game progresses. What works well in the early game might not be as useful in the late game, so it's essential to evolve your approach. At the start, it's wise to focus on acquiring as many properties as possible to build a diverse portfolio, but as properties become scarce, you'll want to shift your focus to developing your holdings and negotiating trades with other players. If you find yourself without a complete set, don't panic, there are still ways to generate income. Consider trading strategically or leveraging utilities and railroads. Sometimes these properties can provide a steady cash flow. It keeps you in the game while you work on completing a property set. Adapting to the board circumstances can help you avoid desperation moves and make the most of every turn. Additionally, pay close attention to your opponent's strategies and be prepared to counteract them. For example, if you see another player heavily investing in the blue properties, steer clear of that area and focus on building your own assets. Sometimes forming temporary alliances with other players can help you block a competitor from achieving a winning position, especially if they're close to a major development. Adaptability also means knowing when to switch from aggressive to defensive strategies and vice versa. By keeping an open mind and adjusting to the game's shifting dynamics, you'll stay a step ahead of your competitors and be better equipped to handle whatever the game throws at you. Staying adaptable and flexible gives you a significant edge over your rivals, increasing your chances of ultimate victory in Monopoly Go. And there you have it, 6 powerful methods to become the ultimate Monopoly Go champion. Start practicing these strategies today and watch as you outsmart and outplay your opponents. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more game tips and strategies. Good luck and go conquer Monopoly Go!